Hi guys, how are y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel. So in this video guys, we are going to learn how to cut and sew this beautiful madam blouse you're seeing here on your screen. Okay, so keep watching, and if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe, like, share and comment on my videos. Let's get started. So I have my 1 yard of lining, and I'm using this gum stain to iron it down. Okay, so you're going to hold your lining with a gum stain. So I'm ironing it down, and after I'm done, this is what I have. Then I folded it by 2. I used my customer's hip circumference to fold it, and I mark my shoulder point. So I'm going to mark my armhole point now, and the bust point 11.5, the waist point, the under bust, which is 14.5, the waist point, and the full length, which is at 27 inches. So I made sure that I mark the same thing on the other side to enable me mark a straight line. So once I'm done, I'm going to connect the lines, and also label the points. We have my shoulder, my armhole, my bust, my under bust, my waist and my full length. So it's time to start putting down the shoulder circumference divided by 2. So my client's shoulder circumference divided by 2 is 8.5. So I'm taking it down to the armhole point. Then I mark it on a straight line. So next thing I'm going to do is to come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slant, and also 3.5 inch for the neck width, and 3.5 inches for the neck depth as well. And I connect the lines also. So for my nipple to nipple circumference, my client's nipple to nipple is 8. I divided it by 2, it gave me 4, and I'll add extra 1/2 inches for joining, making it 4.5. And I'll put it down starting from the bust point to the waist point. Then I'll mark a straight line on it. So next thing I'm going to do is from my shoulder armhole point, I'm going to divide my armhole length by 2, and I'll curve in a little bit to create my armhole curve. But curving it, I'll come down a little bit, then connect from the bust point line to the armhole point. So I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch from the under bust point by the nipple to nipple side, and 1/2 inch. So if your client is on the bigger side, you have to curve it in. If your client is on the smaller side, you have to curve it in by 0.2 or 3 inches. But if she's on a bigger side, just mark a straight line. On this side I have 2.2 inches, so I'm going to mark 2 inches down. So if I'm curving it, if she's on if my client is on a smaller size, I'm going to just curve it the way I place my ruler. But because my client is on the bigger side, I marked it on a straight line. Then I curved my bust curve from my under bust to my bust curve to mark my bust curve. So after marking my bust curve, I'm going to, from my armhole point again, armhole line, I'll come down by 2 inches. Then I'll connect it to create my bust curve, armhole curve, sorry, my armhole curve this way. So I'm going to extend it a bit by 2 inches in case of joining allowance. Okay, and I'll create my armhole curve now. So this is my new armhole curve. So I think we are done. We start placing our measurements. So my bust circumference divided by 4 plus 2 inches to 3 inches in allowance. So I will add 3 inches allowance here because I'll still join it. Okay, so we have 3 inches allowance here, and I will do the same on the under bust. On the bust point, we just mark for the chest point and the bust point. The bust point and the chest point is the same. So the under bust, I mark my under bust circumference divided by 4 plus 2.5 inches that we removed for the curve and 3 inches allowance. I'll do the same on the waist point. My waist point divided by 4 plus 2.5 inches for the armhole dart, for the bust dart, and 3 inches allowance. And the same for the hip, that's the full length, and I marked a straight line on it. So once I'm done doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is to curve my yoke. So my yoke, I'm going to start from the chest point, not there. So I mark my chest point. Your chest point is always 2 inches above your bust point. So from my chest point, I'm going to curve it like this. So it's going to have a V-neck yoke. The yoke is going to have a V-neck shape. So I'm going to cut out the yoke first, then I'll cut out the remaining part of the bustier or bustier. Don't mind my accent too. So this is me cutting out the yoke. So guys, I'm going to cut out the other part of the bustier. I added half-inch allowance, but guys, it's not necessary, sha. I like adding allowance on my work because I always feel like it's going to shorten, and after everything it will stay shorten, and that allowance that I add to it will help it. So that's just me. Everybody has their own way of working. So this is me cutting out. The front piece now is ready. This is the front piece, and you can join it like this. Very easy to join. I'm creating a little notch on the under bust. And where is the yoke now? Okay, this is the yoke. So next thing we're going to do is to mark the cut for the back. So I have my 1.2 inches zipper allowance ready here, and I'm going to mark my shoulder point and my armhole point, which I already marked, and my bust point, my waist point, and the full length of the blouse. So the next thing we are going to do is to shape our zipper allowance. With this, our zipper allowance is not going to be our zipper allowance. We are going to bring it in a little to avoid bulgy, all this bulginess at the back. So to avoid the bulginess at the back of the zip, I have to shape it like this. From the shoulder to the waist, I'm going to shape it like this, and I'll come down to the length like this. So I'm going to create another 1.5 inches inside of the lines that I've already created. So this is going to be our new zipper line. So this is going to help to avoid all the bulginess at the back. So we're going to start putting down the measurement. My shoulder circumference divided by 2 down to the armhole point. Then for the, I'm going to mount my shoulder slant, and 3.5 for the neck width. For the neck depth, 5 inches. The back is going to be very long. It's not going to have the open back because my client is on the bigger side. So I will start by adding the measurements. My back measurement divided by 4 plus 3 inches allowance. My bust circumference divided by 4 plus 3 inches allowance. That is what I'm doing there. And then again, our nipple to nipple circumference, I did not add it, which I remembered, and we're going to add it right now. 4.5 inches down to the, I'm just going to mark a straight line on the center and just, yes, like this. and I'll connect it to the armhole. I'll create half inch this side, half inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, making it 2 inches. So I am going to extend the lines to the bust point now, and from the bust point I'm going to go under the bust point by 1 inch, and I will curve it, creating a bust dart, creating a dart, and from the armhole I'm going to go up by 3 inches. Then I'll connect the lines to the bust dart line, creating an armhole dart. So next thing I'm going to do is to, from the hip line, that's the full length, I came up by 1 inch, then I'll connect the lines in a V shape like this. So the waist is going to be tightened. That's the purpose of this curve. So next thing I'm going to do is to extend the lines, the armhole line for joining allowance, and I'm going to curve it down like this. So this is what we have for the back, and I'm going to cut out the excesses right now. So after I'm done cutting it out, this is what we have for the back, and I'm going to cut out pieces of this. You just need the front piece and the two sides of the side piece, and same with the back. So here I am done joining the linings, which is the one with the gums there. So I'm done joining the linings for the sides and for the front, and the doll face that I used to cut out the lace is here, and I'm done joining the doll face with the doll face and the lace, and this is what they look like. Okay, so I'm going to join the two sides of the back this way. I'm trying to pin it down. This is the two sides of the back that I'm trying to pin down, and I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and I'll sew. I'll do the same on this side. And after I'm done, I'll move over to my sewing machine and sew through the lines that I just pinned down. So that is how to join your back dart. So after joining the back dart, this is what it should look like. And for the front, this is the front, the center front, the two sides front, and I'm going to join with my pin as well, and follow the lines to sew it. So guys, this is what we have, and guys, this is what I have after joining the back. I closed the zipper area so that you see what it looks like. Okay, this is what it looks like. So for the back, and guys, you can see what the waist tightening, that tightening we did at the back, this is what it helped it to do. It gave it one kind of curve at the back. So I'm going to show you what the front looks like. But before I show you the front, I'll go ahead and iron it. So I use this my post ham, that is it post ham or something. I use this to iron the front and the back lines. Okay, so I used it to give it a cool press, that round thing there. So that is what I used to iron the bustier for the front and the back as well. Okay, I placed it like this and I was ironing every inch of it. So guys, this is the front, and I added the yoke for the front as well because there was no time. I added the yoke too after joining the yoke. So I have so many videos on how to sew a yoke net, and at the down part of this blouse I curved it. It's going to have a curve at the down part, so I have given a curve at the down part of this blouse, and we are going to use the bust cup. I'm going to just shape it a little bit. I will just go in by ½ inch and I will sew it like this on both sides of the cup. Then I'll attach it. Just measure the underbust of the blouse from the shoulder to the underbust, mark it, then place your cup starting from the underbust point, and that is how to get your perfect curve for cup. Okay, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like after I'm done doing all these things. So for the closure, this is the lining. So I'm going to, after adding the cup, I'll turn the front piece like this. I'll turn the front of this lace, and I'll place my lining, which is the one that I used the gum stain on, and I'll close it up like this. I just place the center of the front piece of the main material to the center of the front piece of the main lining on the lining, and there I'm going to start stitching. We're going to close up the blouse. So after that, I'm going to do the same for that. Once we're done, we're going to get something like that. So I'm going to do the same for the two side of the back, and I'll show you what it looks like, okay, after I'm done joining. So this is what the back looks like after joining, and this is the other side of the back looks like. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to put my zipper at the back. Then for the front, this is what the front looks like after joining the cup. As you can see, this is the cup. It's looking beautiful. So I'll move ahead now and join the two sides and the shoulder as well, and then add the zipper for the back. Then I'll join the sleeve. This is the sleeve. I'll join the sleeve and just a little design, on it. So you can put down your any design of your choice, starting from the sleeve, or just any design of your choice you want. And then I'll show you what it looks like. So this is design I gave to it. It came out very beautiful and neat. And so this is what it looks like. This is the back, and that is the front. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys in my next video. Bye.